What is up, my simple cooks? It's John here from Simple Cookery. On this channel we upload simple recipes and cooking techniques to help you become more confident in the kitchen. So if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing down below. Today we're making tonkatsu, which is pretty much the Japanese version of a pork schnitzel. A few of you guys have requested this recipe, so here it is for you guys. Now let's go through the ingredients we'll need for today. We've got 2 pork medallions, which is pretty much just a pork cutlet with the bone removed, because we don't want any bones in this recipe. The crumbing that we're going to do for the pork to create that crusty exterior. We've got flour, 2 eggs, and some panko crumbs. Anyways, let's get into the cooking. First step is to prepare the pork. Get a sharp knife and make thin cuts through the fatty section of the pork. This will make sure that it's not tough and chewy once we bake it. Also, make sure to preheat the oven to 200 degrees so it's ready to go once your pork is ready. Then, smack the pork with either a flat knife or a rolling pin or whatever floats your boat until the pork is nice and thin. This will help tenderize the meat. Season the pork with salt and pepper. Alrighty, pork is all prepped, now let's move on to our crumbing ingredients. Add the panko breadcrumbs in a pan over medium heat and drizzle with a bit of olive oil. We're looking to cook out these breadcrumbs until they're golden brown. Make sure to move them around once in a while so that the breadcrumbs toast evenly. Perfect, this is exactly the color that we were looking for. Now let's move on to the crumbing stage. I'm going to prepare 3 sections for crumbing here. 1 plate of flour, 1 plate of eggs, and 1 plate of toasted panko breadcrumbs. A little trick to keep your hands nice and tidy when crumbing is to use 1 hand for the dry ingredients and 1 hand for the wet ingredients. First step of the crumbing process is to coat the pork in the flour. Now switch hands and dip it into the egg. Finally, switch it back to your dry hand and drop it into the panko breadcrumbs. And then place it on a baking tray covered with aluminium foil. Gorgeous. Now let's pop these into the oven at 200 degrees for 20 minutes. While the pork is in the oven, let me show you how to make a quick little salad to serve on the side. Slice a few tomato wedges and then finally slice a bit of cabbage. Transfer the cabbage into a bowl and drizzle with a bit of Japanese mayo. Give it a good mix. Once the pork is ready, take it out of the oven and slice into thick strips. Let's plate this up. Salad first, then the tomatoes, and finally our gorgeous tonkatsu. As a finishing touch, drizzle a bit of Japanese mayo over the cabbage and some tonkatsu sauce over the pork. And that, my friends, is a delicious bowl of tonkatsu with a side of cabbage and tomatoes. Nice, delectable.